while I always say that I love marketing, this one was really, really important to me. This conversation with Stephanie Neece really went deep because she really focused on social media marketing and how it's important and why, and how she utilized her background in order to have effective social media marketing. And if you listen to any of our episodes, this one is really going to give you something to walk away with to help you really be able to identify your ideal client and serve them to the best of your ability. So if you're interested in that, listen to this conversation with Courtney, Stephanie, Neece, and I. Let's talk about marketing for just a second. And this is my favorite part of the conversation because I love marketing. And I know that we're going to have a good dialogue here because I love the relationship way of marketing. There's a million ways in real estate. And y'all at Keller Williams, you and Anthony run the coaching program at Keller Williams and in Mandeville. So I think this is going to be a twofold conversation. You know, the systems that you have to apply, but also the way that you generate business. How are you generating business for yourself, and how are you teaching your agents within the coaching program to generate business for themselves?
Well, so so just for clarity, I stepped away from coaching to be the market center tech trainer because I was always kind of doing that part anyway, and I have my design background. So what I encourage anybody, you know, Rory Vaden, you've heard of him, brand guy, like brand god. So he has 1,005 people that he studied, 16 or 18 to 65. 74% of them said that they want to do business with somebody who has a social, like a presence, like a personal brand. And they want to see that you're out. It's not about followers. It's about your reputation. He says reputation precedes revenue. So when I meet with
that one again,
reputation precedes revenue.
That's huge.
So if you stay who you are, then you will get to the other side, but you have to do it and stay true to it. There's no, what other brand, like most of us aren't going to be, you know, we're not going to have a big logo that's not us, especially in real estate because it's a people business. They want to know who you are, what you do. So like in my Google business page, I have pictures of myself with my dog, with my husband, with my family on my boat because I know that I'm going to find those people and they're going to find me. And there's enough difference in all of the people out there that every agent could find their own niche. The other thing that he said, which I thought was one of the most powerful things I've ever heard, is that you are the best person to serve the person you used to be.
Wow.
Say
right?
That. I asked you to repeat already, but say that one again because I think that that's powerful.
Right. You are the very best person to serve the person that you once were. So, for example, I moved here from Portland, Oregon in 2016, didn't know a soul. The most people that I work with are coming here from out of state.
So lean into that.
Yeah. So I think that's powerful. So from a business side point, it's saying, who can I connect with on a level that says, I understand, I see you, I hear you, and I know what you're going through. I can help you, not just from theory, but from experience. And I think that's a powerful way to market and to find clientele.
100%, because we can't be, the problem with a lot of agents, and I'm going to call it a problem, and, you know, another guy, Phil Jones, who wrote Exactly What to Say, he was talking to, you know, the big room in Keller Williams, and he was like, who's your perfect client? And somebody said, everybody or something. He's like, no, you need to find your people. They will come. It's just like,
we've had this conversation so many times because he often will ask that question, who's your ideal client? I said, agents always want to say everyone. Like they don't,
and
they want to be a yes
true.
person.
It's not true. You have to find your people. I'm going to say it again to everybody in the room. You are the best person to serve the person that you used to be. So if you just be yourself and be authentic, it's going to come.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the same things that young men that are 30 years old are cranking out podcasts and stuff. My thing is that I want to be the person that when somebody goes, how do I find, I want them to think of me because I have that grounding energy, right? Like the biggest compliment I have now is that I have clients calling me going, I have this dog that I need to rehome because my other dogs don't like, you know, like they're thinking of me for a solution for everything. Yeah. It's not even real estate related. That's my marketing, is just like
it's how you show up as a person.
And just leaning into that. Yeah. And I think more people need to do that because who else are you going to be? Yeah. Who else are you going to be?
I think what you just did was you gave people an idea on how, if they have a hard time identifying who their ideal client is and you don't know where to start, you can just go back to the person that you once were and build
There's your person.
build a profile around that person because
Right.
you have a firsthand experience. And then what problems did you have that were in between you and where you want it to be or where you're at now?
Right.
And how did you solve those problems?
And we'll
talk about them.
Yeah, we could take it to the next level. We could sit down. You sit down with Chat GPT,
Mm-hmm.
and you go, "All right, Chad." That's what I call him.
Right.
Joseph Durrani stole that from me.
He's rubbed up on all of
Oh,
us.
he did.
Totally
He
did.
did?
Wait
Oh,
to-
yeah.
I
You're
can't
the
wait to
OG.
call him out with this.
No,
You're the
he
OG. I was
stole,
gonna
he
say-
stole Chad from me, so I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, wow.
Anywho,
On the record.
right on the record.
That's funny.
Anyway, imagine
Chad-
that I sit down and I go, all right, so I move here from Oregon. I don't know a soul, and I want to sell real estate. All right, well that sounds fun. Now, I'm gonna be my best person would be people who aren't from here moving here because I know how they felt. So then I sit down with Chad and I say, hey, Chad, would you come up with the 52 questions that people moving here from out of state might ask about real estate and moving here and coming to a new town where you've ever been? And then you have 52 weeks of content because you answer one question a week.
Yeah.
You just gave me a whole different problem in my head. Like, it's like that idea of taking your ideal client and saying, what do they need from me? And asking Chad to help you formulate how that person needs me to show
Answer
up.
it before they ask because there's nothing like
love that.
when you meet somebody
I'm about to pull my personal Chad out.
and
be
you
like,
right, but you say something or you give them something where they feel like you saw them before you ever met them, you can't lose.
Yeah.
That's
You
huge.
can't.
That's great. I think
So
we ended
so
with
for
that.
so last little thing though, obviously on your marketing side, you know, it's how you show up as an agent, but you also do so much with other agents. We'd be remiss to say this. One of the ways you do it is through graphic design. How do you help, you know, other people in the industry with that?
Same as I would anybody. It's like, what story do you want to tell? How do you want to look?
You can help them with a logo, flyer.
logo, flyer, listing presentation, buyer's presentations. You know,
I'll
my
say
listing
this.
my listing presentation is sick.
Yeah.
And I share it with other agents because we're all going to get our different people. But that I know for a fact that when somebody presents that, the person that's listening to them goes, "Oh my gosh, they thought of everything before it even crossed my mind."
And I'll say, if anybody needs proof of that picture you did for John and I whenever we opened Arena and you gave us as a gift, it's hanging in John's office. It is quite often what I think about as us and John and I, or me and the role that we have. It's just a cool visual of the feeling that we didn't really, you know me well enough to know that was a good representation of us, and it's badass.
Well, it's because I sit and I'm always paying attention and I'm always present. And, you know, am I rolling in millions of dollars from real estate? No, but I'm fulfilling what I want to do. And I appreciate that I could go, hey, I want to talk about KW Cares, can I? Because it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know,
But I think it's important. There's a lot of different forms of wealth. You are wealthy in impact. Mm-hmm. And
well,
I think
that means a lot to me.
and that is, I mean, that's so many people will be like, I have money, but I don't feel fulfilled.
Right.
You know, like, or that I'm doing anything. You know, and so there's a level there that it's recognizing that although our bank account may not look like Elon Musk, we may have some other form where, you know, we have tapped into a level of wealth in that category.
Yeah.
It could be time. It could be time wealth. It could be relationship wealth, impact.
Well,
wealth,
100%. I mean, you can't take it with you. So
all
I'd
that
rather.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so, Stephanie, I appreciate you. I don't tell you enough, but I do. I appreciate how you show up as an agent, how you show up as a human. I'm glad we had this conversation
Well, I
today.
appreciate you too. Thank you very much.
And I'll say that I think you're cool, and I think your dad's proud of you. So,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. That's cool.
All right.